Hey guys, well, today I'm going to talk about the third attempt on Michael Hamster. Now, before I get into that, I do want to address the Johnny A. Light story about me slapping Gene Gotti. All I did was say the truth. I had words with Gene Gotti, chest to chest, face to face in McKean. Joe Gambino got in the middle and stopped it. I never slapped Gene Gotti. Patty Della Russo never slapped Gene Gotti. And I wanted to clarify that up. Now, with that said, John A. Light is a big storyteller. He loves to tell fairy tales and he wants to be something he's not. He says these stories that he was beeped to go to Paul Castellano's or to the Virgin Fish Club after they killed Paul Castellano and all this nonsense, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. He creates lies after lies, and the thing is, eventually your lies are going to catch up to you. That's for one. Okay? He's a fly-by-night. He holds on to people, their coattails, and he tries to get what he can out of them. Now, with that said, he also took a picture with Joey Calco. Now, I really don't have a beef with Joey Calco. My beef with Joey Calco is him killing Paulie Galino, and that's my beef with him. I grew up with him all my life. I know him since we were children, and but he took a picture with Joey Calco. He's supposed to be my friend, and that's where the beef started. And if he saw that video that I posted, he has my number. He could have called me and said, Jimmy, what's up with this? What did I do wrong to you? And we could have spoke about it, but he decides to attack me through other podcasts and through the trolls that he has in his corner. This is what he does. He's a pity party. Every time I did call him in the past, it was always a pity party. Oh, I'm in the hospital. This is going on. That's going on. All he does, he wants people to feel sorry for him. He's a pity party. He's a fly-by-night. I'm sure you all have his number. And if you don't, it's real easy to see through this guy. He's an attention seeker and he's full of shit. Now, basically, with that said, enough on him, John A. Little. I'm not going to keep on going on with him. I want to talk about this Michael Hamster, the third attempt. Now, the first attempt was me and Joey Calco shooting Michael Hamster. The kid Michael Hamster lived with that. They shot him up with some steroids. He was in the hospital for a couple weeks and he survived. After that, he's out. I went to Manhattan to stay with my father. Joey went to Italy for a year. Tommy Karate helps me out. They go see Georgie the Chico. I come back to the neighborhood. Paulie G helped me through Tommy Karate. And now I was with the Bananos. The second attempt was me and Paulie G. We were driving around. Tommy Reynolds beeps us from a payphone on Bay 19th and Cropsey Avenue. And all of a sudden, we pull up near the Cropsey Lounge where Tommy Reynolds was beeping us. And we see an ambulance carrying Michael Hamster into the ambulance. Tommy Reynolds had a pistol, shot him a couple of times with a .45, blew his kneecap out. Michael Hamster survived that hit too. Now, this kid had 9 lives. Growing up, he was around the Chicos. I was around the Chicos when I was younger. And Georgie the Chico was a captain. Bobby the Chico was just his son. Now, we made a lot of mistakes in our life, even this kid Michael Hamster, because I'm sure he looks back now and he realizes that these guys were nothing but, at that time, someone you didn't want to put yourself around as a kid. But at that time, that's what we wanted to be. We wanted to be gangsters. And this caused him to get hit all these times because he was a bully towards me and my friends. Now, I'm going to fast forward to the third attempt on Michael Hamster. Now, at this time, Joey Calco was doing a job on 20th Avenue between Bath and Benson. He was doing a construction job. Joey Calco had the Calco Brothers Construction Company. His father had it for many years. It was a big company, and they made a lot of money. They were great with the concrete business, and they were very successful. Joey didn't even need to get into this life. He was brought into money. He had a nice house on Bay 14th and Bath, and he didn't need this shit. But Joey was a problem child, and he always got into trouble. Now, at this time, as he's on this job site, John Dunn and Michael Hamster are watching Joey Calco. John Dunn is a knockaround guy. He had a pot spot. John Dunn, his father-in-law was Rocco Maraglia. He was a wise guy in the Colombo family, and that was his connection to the mob. He married Rocco Maraglia's daughter. And at that time, John Dunn was dating one of Rocco Maraglia's daughters. Now, as Joey Calco is doing this construction job on 20th Avenue between Bath and Benson, Michael Hamster and John Dunn are watching him. So Joey Calco gets in his truck, goes to 86th Street and 20th Avenue, stops in a Dunkin' Donuts, gets some coffee, some donuts. On his way out, he gets ambushed and surprised. They're throwing shots at him from the car. They tag Joey, hit Joey maybe once or twice. Joey survived that. Joey had a pistol on him, pulled out his pistol and started throwing some shots back. Joey was always a tough kid. With the streets, everybody knew who he was. He was street credibility. He was definitely a serious kid, and growing up, a lot of guys really didn't want him because he was too reckless and wild. But Paulie G took him after nobody else wanted him and put him a part of our crew. Joey was always basically a learner before we got him. So, you know, you got to understand there's so much to this, how it comes into play. So after they shoot Joey Calco, we come together, Paulie G, Tommy Reynolds, Joey Calco, and Fabrizio. Now, I have a case pending, a small case, where I stabbed some kid and I got, I think, 90 days in Rikers Island. It could have been 90 or 60 days. On 90, I think he did 60. And I went to Rikers Island. I copped out in small court, and I took a plea. Now, I also want to state that I never had a co-defendant ever in my lifetime on any case that I pled to until I got indicted with Anthony Sparrow and Joseph Benanti. That's how sharp I was when I was a kid. Anything I ever do, all my friends, everyone else got away. I never told on them. I never tattletaleed on them. Everyone got away. Anything I ever did. And if they did get a case with me, I went like this. I took the fall, let them off. Because it was easier for me to take a plea. So, getting back to the Calco getting shot, we bunch up, Paulie G, Tommy Reynolds, Fabrizio, and me. I go away for 60 days doing a 90-day bid on Rikers Island. As I'm there, Paulie G puts together Joey Calco, Tommy Reynolds, and Fabrizio. Now, they're waiting on Michael Hamster and John Dunn. They steal a car, they park it, they wait on Bay 13th and Cropsey Avenue. As they're waiting, Fabrizio has a gun, Reynolds has a gun, and Joey has a gun and a shotgun. Now, I know this story because when I came home, Paulie G told it to me, Calco told it to me, and Reynolds told it to me, okay? Obviously, we were very tight. We all grew up together, and we had our own little crew. This is fact. This is not fiction. So, at this time, they're waiting in their car on Bay 13th and Cropsey, and John Dunn and Michael Hamster pull up in front of their house. This is John Dunn's house and Michael Hamster where they lived. As they pull up, Tommy Reynolds and Joey Calco, Fabrizio pull up right on the side. Joey Calco is driving, Reynolds in the passenger seat, and Fabrizio's in the van. They stole a van. It's a stolen van. They pull up, they stick them right there where they can't get out of the car. John Dunn is in the passenger seat and Michael Hamster's in the car. They throw shots at him. Tommy Reynolds jumps out. He shoots the kid John Dunn a couple times in the chest, and he falls in front of a neighbor's house and starts knocking, help, help, help. And I think the neighbor grabbed him and pulled him in. Michael Hamster gets shot a couple times. He jumps out of the car. Now he's limping on one leg, going across the street, just hopping. This is when Joey Calco hits him with the shotgun. Boom. He hits him, he falls down. Now, at this time, Fabrizio froze up. This was a big thing that Paulie G was very angry about. As Joey Calco shoots Michael Hamster with the shotgun, Michael Hamster falls. Tommy Reynolds goes over to Michael Hamster with the gun on his head, and he pulls the trigger. As Tommy Reynolds pulls the trigger, it clicks. There's no more bullets in the gun. Tommy Reynolds could have killed him right there. This was meant to be. This kid, Michael Hamster, was saved by God. Hopefully, I hope he knows that. Now, Fabrizio never pulled the trigger. They take off. They get out of there. They get rid of the van. They burn it. They get rid of the pistols. Now, this goes to Paulie G. Paulie G is upset with Fabrizio. This is when, before Fabrizio was straightened out, and Paulie G chases Fabrizio for a little while. I come home after doing my 60 days. Paulie G tells me a story about Fabrizio. I tell Paulie G, Paulie, you gotta give this kid a pass because it's the first thing he ever did. He never pulled the trigger before, and you know, you gotta understand he was a little scared, and give him a pass. You know, he's one of us. We grew up with him, you know, and he really is a good kid. So with that said, it came to Paulie to understand that I was right. You had to give this kid a pass. And that's what Paulie G did. He gave him a pass. But he always remembered how he fucked up and he didn't pull the trigger on that hit. And that screwed a lot of things up. Now, Joey Calco could verify all this information if he came and he started talking about this. And Michael Hamster, I want to reach out to him too. And he should come out with a podcast and start talking about stuff too, because me and him together could actually corroborate a lot of stuff that happened with Bobby the Chico. As far as us meeting John Gotti with Georgie the Chico and Bobby the Chico, that time in the 80s. So if you could come forward and do a podcast, that'll be great, because you could verify a lot of information that I'm talking about. Now, you know, there's a lot of nonsense going on. I'm sure you're going to read about it. I pulled John A. Light's card about Gene Gotti, so now he's going to get ready to attack me. So I'm taking the gloves off. I'm ready for these clowns. I have big shoulders, and I don't fear nobody. These guys are creeps, and I called them out. And Larry Mazza, the maid, M-A-I-D, that's all you were, was a maid to Gregory Scarpa. He's nothing but a punk. And that's a Beth Avenue story for today. I hope you like this story. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. You really mean so much to me. All these subscribers that I have, it's loving, giving me this kindness. Thank you. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this Bad Avenue story for today. I'll get into a next Bad Avenue story tomorrow. The next one I'm going to talk about Paulie G and the Bad Avenue crew. Again, have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.